welcome back to the True Rhyme Show. Now, if you've made it this far along the journey, I thought it was about time not to share something quite so gruesome tonight, because we've been down a few little bit unsavoury moments in history, and I thought just to throw out there, when you've lost faith in humanity, there was actually, in 1941, there was a committee formed, and it was the British Society of Nursery Rhyme Corrections. So how would you be? There is a group of people actually got together and they got all excited and thought they were going to correct the nursery rhymes, and they threw half of them out. So out of the 200, they culled 100 of them, and they got rid of the ones that were talking about torture and death and depravity and the occasional torturing of animals, and I think there was a few mentions about eating people and all sorts of crazy shit like that, and they got the chop. But the interesting thing is, you could actually delve into this stuff, and still somewhere in antiquity, you could probably find a reference to some of those crazy-ass rhymes that actually got the chop. Going forward, when you've got sucked into this show, we'll actually research some of these 100-odd that got chopped off, and we'll find out what the hell was going on with this stuff. But anyway, tonight I thought we'd go with something a little bit more light-hearted, and we're going to talk about Rub-a-Dub-Dub, 3 Men in a Tub. And who were there? The butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker. Now, as a young fella growing up in a Christian household, I must admit, when the preachers were ramping on about the whole, homosexual thing that's going on, my poor little innocent brain went down that rabbit hole, and I thought, well, if there's 3 blokes in a bathtub, perhaps that was what was going on. But that was the attempt of the nursery rhyme correctors to try and make it sanitised. Because the real truth was that the nursery rhyme was originated from the fact that back in the day, I think it was Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria, now she was just a little bit prudy. Just a touch prudy, and she was not into the whole sexual thing. She was so freaked out that she actually got them to put bloody cloths on chair legs and shit so people wouldn't get excited. I mean, I don't know, I've never had a hard-on over a chair leg, but, horses for courses, everybody's got their own fetish, so, whatever. But anyway, going along, there's never to be denied would be the human resource to make coin, isn't it? I mean, that's just how we are. People want to make money. So the people in the theatre of the day, in Queen Elizabeth's day, who was not allowed to do theatrical things in the public eye, so they actually created a box. They created a box to do their theatre in, because I think originally they didn't want to actually let people watch their theatre for free, so they created this box, and they made little holes in the box, and you could pay a fee to look through the hole to watch the play. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's probably a peephole, which is probably the original peephole back in bloody hell. What was that, in the 1700s or whatever it was? The interesting thing is that they definitely were a peephole, because what went on at the fair, there's always some bloke going to make some money. So there they are at the fair, the candlestick maker and the butcher and the baker, and they're all paying their money to look through the hole, because the original nursery rhyme was Rub-a-Dub-Dub, 3 hot chicks in a tub, and who was perving on them? The butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker. So you never know what sort of stuff is going to get presented at the fair. But as far as nursery rhymes go, I thought this was a very interesting one. Now, this is another one that they got culled off from the nursery rhyme. Wait, hang on. I just got to remember what the hell they called themselves. The British Society of Nursery Rhyme Reform. I mean, what the hell? Doesn't that sound like a pompous bunch of pricks? But anyway, one of the other ones that got the chop, which I think probably should have got the chop, and I'm going old school, I got my paper instead of a bloody telephone, so, it is what it is. I'll put my eyes on. I'm going to read you this little one because I can't remember it verbatim. Verbatim, look at that. That's a big word. I bet you that's pretty cool. I'm sounding intelligent. Don't get carried away out there. Anyway, this is one I thought probably should get the chop. And it goes along something like this. I charge you, my daughters, to keep a good house while I am gone. You, and especially you. Or else I'll beat you black and blue. Probably not acceptable in this day and age to give your girls a bit of a hiding. I don't know what the bloody hell was going on with the lads. There was nothing wrong with them washing some dishes. I mean, for fuck's sake, get amongst it, you know, like it's a fair... Although I suppose when that was written, there wasn't a fair and equitable prime, was it? The thing that is very interesting about nursery rhymes is they've gone down this blooming crazy-ass sanitising... I mean, in my childhood, I would have been happy for 3 girls in a tub. That would have made much more logical sense to me than thinking that there was candlesticks makers and butchers and bakers and they were doing each other. I mean, you know, God, honestly, they're trying to make things acceptable and they just mess with our heads more. So just think about that next time you're trying to correct something. If you're in a relationship and you want to change what's going on, just remember, if you change one thing you don't like, you'll change 3 things you do like. There's something that the nursery rhyme people should have known, that they were going to fuck with this shit badly. Cool, if you're enjoying the show, don't forget to click like, subscribe, share us with your friends, hell, even share us with your mum and dad, because that'll freak the shit out of them. And there's a possibility, because we're trying to raise some coin to keep the show alive, we might even come up with a cool t-shirt, and we have got some really cool ideas, and so if you just go down to the product section down here somewhere, you can check out what that's going to look like.